We move on next to Dr. Barbara Herr Harthorn. She is professor of anthropology and director and lead principal investigator of the National Science Foundation Center for Nanotechnology in Science at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Dr. Harthorn leads an international and interdisciplinary team of researchers that study risk and benefit perceptions regarding new technological development among diverse expert, industry, and public stakeholders. Her group also studies modes of effective public engagement and deliberation. She was the founding board member of the International Society for the Study of Nanoscience and Emerging Technologies and is a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. One clarification, it is the Center for Nanotechnology in Society, not in Science, and that is a crucial point, or I wouldn't intervene.
Yeah.
So,
It is. Thank you for that correction.
I've been asked to speak this morning about how the National Nanotechnology Initiative employs advisory committees to inform ethics integration into nanotechnology research and development, and I'm going to read my comments to you. I'll respond in three parts. First, how the advisory committees are structured. Second, how they inform ethics integration on nanotech research and development. And thirdly, other processes by which knowledge about social and ethical issues is being incorporated into the nanotech R&D enterprise. The NNI has had many successes, and as an early effort at integrating research on science and society at this scale, provides lessons that could enable us to do even better at achieving the BRAIN Initiative's goal of, quote, maintaining our highest ethical standards. The NNI is a sprawling interagency initiative with primary funding flowing to its many participating agencies. The two main advisory committees established for the NNI are PCAST, the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, which has served since 2004 as the National Nanotech Advisory Panel, which was stipulated in the authorization bill. And the National Academies of Science, National Research Councils, which since 2002 has provided a series of independent reviews of the NNI. Reviews by both advisory groups have been conducted primarily as closed-door sessions where the committees gather information and invite expert testimony from many sectors, which is then synthesized into reports. As a Societal Issues Center Director, I've provided oral and extensive written testimony for both PCAST and NAS. PCAST has also incorporated our research results in their reports. Both committees are composed primarily of scientists and engineers, and for PCAST, industry representatives, so societal ethics issues are not a strong priority. Both PCAST and NRC reports have included praise for accomplishments, and particularly in the case of NRC reports, highlighted areas of concern, including those impinging on ethics and responsible development. Societal and ethical implications and public participation were firmly stipulated in the NNI authorization bill in 2003, and within a number of inter- and intra-agency initiatives. The National Nanotechnology Coordinating Office has taken the lead in conjunction with NSET and its working groups in organizing stakeholder workshops, and NSF has organized events like the Nano2 conference in 2010 to assess progress toward goals, including societal implications. The 2006 NRC report described nanotechnology as, quote, a potentially disruptive emerging technology, end quote, that would require a different approach to handling risks, benefits, and uncertainty. Responsible development of nanotechnology, they stated, requires, quote, collaborations between chemists and toxicologists, as well as social scientists who desire to address the ethical and policy issues related to use of nanotechnology. This new approach entails taking an integrated approach to ethical issues that will also involve the public in thinking through the implications of nanotechnology, end quote. The report asserted the value of, quote, informed outside review and societal participation in decision-making about the introduction of significant new technologies into our environment. PCAST's 2010 report lauded, quote, the NNI's strong and growing portfolio of research on the societal implications of nanotechnology, nanotechnology education, and public outreach. The NNI, and particularly the NSF, has been unprecedentedly forward-looking in its attention to upstream societal ethics concerns. In 2003, the NSF funded a series of societal research and education projects, and in 2005 awarded 2 national centers at UC Santa Barbara and Arizona State University to address societal ethical issues. Though modest in funding by science and engineering center standards, they jointly represent the largest such investment in the world. Now in their 9th of 10 years of funding, these centers and related societal research have produced an international network of scholars and a robust body of scholarly and policy-relevant research that touches on many of the issues discussed in this room in the last day. Our center at UCSB has produced a range of published work on modes of incorporating diverse voices into public deliberation, on multiple party risk and benefit perceptions, worker safety, social, political, and economic analyses of the global nano-innovation system, particularly in China and the US, and comparative historical analyses of other emerging technologies. Both centers have developed pioneering research and education programs for integrating responsible development research with our nanoscale science and engineering colleagues, and both are co-generating knowledge and engaging with a large range of stakeholders. In spite of this output and the production of a rising generation of responsible development scholars, and I would signal my colleague Erik Fischer down the table here, I believe that the integration of societal ethics research into the NNI has primarily taken place through individual, informal, and bottom-up channels, rather than top-down structures or formal processes for incorporation. I provide below examples of the ways we and others across these many agencies, committees, and networks have sought to integrate societal ethics research with nanotech R&D in the absence of formal mechanisms. Safety is one place where the integration of advisory concerns about potential hazards of engineered nanomaterials has produced extensive research. Environmental health and safety have been flagged as a critical area of interagency and international, I would add, coordination with noticeable effects. For example, 2 large ecotoxicology centers at UCLA and Duke were jointly funded in 2008 by NSF and EPA. Though primarily focused on technical hazards of ENMs in the environment, they include societal issues. For example, I lead a team of societal researchers in the UCLA Center for Environmental Implications of Nanotechnology, working to integrate public and expert risk perception research findings with the scientific risk assessment enterprise. This has involved extensive social science, nanoscience collaboration over the past 5 years, including the co-production of 2 international surveys of nanomaterials companies' workplace safety practices, and my ongoing work on the center's executive committee. And I would note, center structures are particularly conducive to such integration. The prominence of research on societal implications of nanoscale technologies has already peaked in priority in the NNI, in my view, in the absence of emergent controversy. Nanosocial science researchers have engaged the science and engineering community, toxicologists, policymakers, industry partners, NGOs, and diverse publics in the US and abroad on issues of risk and benefit, governance, innovation, and the future. A very partial list of such activities includes organizing societal components in regional, national, and international workshops, conferences, and meetings about the global nanotechnology innovation system, reporting on public deliberations on imagined nano futures, hopes, and concerns, including human enhancement, providing empirical evidence about public risk perceptions for risk management and communications efforts, sharing science and society news via blogs, news clippings, clearinghouses, and science cafes, museum nano days, NGO conferences, etc., collaborating as full partners, i.e. co-PIs, on research, education, and outreach initiatives with nanoscale science and engineering colleagues. And finally, training a new generation of scientists and engineers who think beyond the bench by embedding, in our center's case, nanoscale scientists and engineers in training into our social science enterprise. The societal ethics component of the NNI is relatively small and just now reaching maturity. The BRAIN initiative, launched 10 months ago, conveyed a strong desire to capture the public's imagination about the possibilities for science and technology development to solve critical medical problems and to advance understanding in vital new directions. It acknowledges the critical anticipated role of ethical responsible development to achieve this goal, determining the nature and extent of societal concerns that need to be addressed by the BRAIN Initiative in a systematic, ethical, and scientifically valid way will require significant investment in social and behavioral research and in the infrastructure for its coordination and dissemination. Thank you.
Dr. Harthorn, thank you very much.